Okay, we're all set.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Can you raise your hand or wave if you can hear me all right? Can everybody hear me okay? Yes.
we got
All right,
out.
great. Thank you. Hi, I'm Sharon Bond. I'm the Director of Parent and Family Engagement here at DU. And as is Tyler. We've been communicating back and forth with you for a while now. We hope that you're enjoying the webinars and all of the information. Parent and Family Engagement is here for you to help you navigate the university and find your way as you're getting ready for orientation and throughout the next 4 years. When you need something and it's not apparent where you need to go at the university, you can call on us and we'll help you out. So welcome to the webinar. Tonight's webinar is titled Housing and Residential Education. And we are joined today by Carrie and Linda from the Housing and Res Ed Department, office. And we're just going to go over a few things. They're going to talk about the Housing and Res Ed division, and then we'll open it up for Q&A like usual. But please, try to hang on to your questions for a little bit until, we're starting to wrap up that part, and then we'll go right into answering your questions. So I'm going to turn it over now to Carrie and Linda.
Real quick before we get into that, last week we had a lot of questions in regards to the Canvas modules that all of your students are supposed to be going through. So what the Canvas modules are, they're pre-education modules, pre-orientation modules that your students are supposed to be working through and finishing before they get to DU. There are 4 different modules. The first one was released on August 1st, which was our community commitment. So learning about DU and what it means to be a student here. August 4th, we sent out the module Thriving on Campus, which is all about extracurriculars and things that you can do on campus. August 8th, we sent out Advising and Planning for Registration. So learning how to register, and that's where your students are making their 3 practice schedules. And then August 15th, we sent out Arrival to Campus, so things that need to be finished before getting on campus and what to expect from orientation and so forth. So your students should have gotten that. These will actually stay open until December. So we hope that your student will finish them before arriving on campus, but they have until December to finish them. And they are technically required, so please encourage your students to get these done. And they should have gotten an email originally at the beginning of August about this through their DU email. So yeah, that's answers all of the questions about Canvas. If you have any more, feel free to email us at our parents' email at parents@du.edu. And I will turn it over to our residential education people.
Hi everyone, my name is Linda Lay. I'm the Manager of Communication and Community Relations in Housing and Residential Education.
Hello everyone, thanks for joining us. My name is Dr. Carrie Panikvar, and I have the privilege of leading the Housing and Residential Education group. So I think what we're going to do to just start, and I know that there's probably a bunch of questions that we want to have plenty of time to get to, and so there's probably a wide range of questions that you'll have that we're more than happy to answer. So I'm going to start with just a little bit about who we are and getting your student here in the next couple of weeks. So Housing and Residential Education, we are responsible for all of the residence halls that are on campus. And so what that means for us is that we do all of the occupancy, so the housing placements, and then once your students come into the residence halls, we work with them with our team that are full-time staff and graduate students and RA staff in the building to help them be successful while they're living here with us on campus. So who is HRE? We have sort of 2 sides, the housing side, and those are our more facility occupancy management folks who take care of all of the outside walls of our residence halls and making sure that everything is clean. We work with our custodial and our facilities teams to make sure that the living environment is conducive for everybody. Then we have who takes care of your students, and that's the residential education piece. So every single residence hall on our campus, especially in our first-year communities, we have what we call resident directors, and they are full-time staff at the university. They've all earned a master's degree in higher education. And they are responsible for everything that happens inside of the residence hall. So they supervise our graduate resident directors, who then supervise our resident assistants. And they're really there to provide support, guidance, advocacy for your students. They're also the folks on our campus who address student behavior in our residence halls. And we also do a significant amount of programming so that your students are engaged within the community. With that, we're going to sort of jump into the first big questions that we've been getting from parents and families this entire summer, and that is sort of living with a roommate. So the majority of our students who come to campus have never lived with a roommate before, and that can be very difficult and challenging and really kind of scary for some students coming to be on a campus in a space where you've never been before, and then living with someone that you've either met over online or on the phone a few times before you get with us. We are very aware of those issues, and we are here to handle all of those. You'll really need to speak with your resident director and your graduate resident directors and let them know, hey, my student could be, having some challenges with this. Can you please help us work through this? But that's what we're there to do in the first couple of weeks, is really work with your student on how to live with someone else. And we're going to be giving them all the skills and tools that they need to be able to do that successfully. We also have something that Linda's going to talk about as well that has been coming up quite a bit for us.
Yeah, so a lot of the students have been calling in to see about the possibility of switching rooms. We do currently have a wait list, and so your student and their roommate, if their roommate would like to stay with them, they're both welcome to email us at housing@du.edu with their request, and we'll place them on a wait list. Requests are taken in the order they've been received, and of course students are placed as space becomes available. So that doesn't guarantee that the switch will happen before classes start, but being on the wait list is a good place to start. If the student would still like to switch rooms and hasn't been able to be placed from the wait list into the room of their choice, we do have room change day, and that occurs during week 3 of the quarter. And that will happen both in the fall quarter and in the winter quarter this year. And students can reach out to their RAs or their RDs, resident assistants and resident directors, for more information about that. And during that event, students will come meet with us, the housing staff, and we'll let them know what rooms are available. And then they can choose from one of those if they'd still like to change.
Great. So what we're going to do is we'll start taking your questions so that we can fill this time with whatever you have for us.
Okay, so the first question is, what is the configuration of a triple in Centennial Hall?
So the triple configuration, so some of our students are placed into rooms that have 3 residents to them instead of just 2 residents. And those rooms sit on the corners of our buildings in Centennial Halls and Centennial Towers. And because those rooms are much larger than the other rooms on the hall. So there is a bunk bed, and then there is a single bed. Every bunk bed, or every person in that room, also has a desk, and they have specialized closets that we have configured so that each student has a space in the closet along with their bed, their dressers, and their desks.
Oh, okay. Some student still does not have a room assignment. What can they expect? Or what should they expect?
So that is a great question, and it's an individualized question. And so if you could email us at housing@du.edu with your son's name and ID number, we can respond to you tomorrow and let you know exactly where we're at with that.
Also, please keep in mind room assignments were sent out to all of the students at du.edu email addresses, and so if they haven't logged into that, they do want to check that for their room assignments if they haven't already.
Do the students move out over winter break, or do they keep their fall semester room?
Yep, the students can absolutely stay. They don't need to move out during winter break. They can keep their belongings in their rooms during winter. However, once the residence halls close in November, there is no getting back into the room. So whatever they need to take, they will need for that break period, they'll need to bring with them, but they don't need to move completely out.
Can we change our meal plan selection?
Yes, Meal plans can be changed up until the Thursday of the first week of classes, and that can be done in your Students Pioneer Web account. If you go to the My Web tab, into the student folder, there's a housing and meals folder, and then you'll find there's an add, change, and cancel meal plan option, and you can go ahead and submit it through there.
Can we ship items when we are coming from out of state?
Yes, you can absolutely ship items when you're coming from out of state. Please know though that September the 4th is a holiday, and so there is no U.S. mail that's coming to us, so we will not start getting packages that are going to be arriving to campus until the 5th. And with a little over 2,500 students moving in, we get about 3,000 packages on those first 2 days. And so sorting that mail takes some time. So I would expect that around the 8th or 9th is when your student will receive those packages.
Something that a lot of families have done is if you have something that you want your student to have right away, they've been shipping to their hotel where they're going to be staying. So sometimes your hotel might have the capacity to do that for you. Sometimes they may not, but this is a really good option that people have used. If you call the hotel where you're staying and just ask them, say, hey, I have a student moving in at DU. Do you have a storeroom where we could send something? And they will give you some instructions how to label your packages and where to send it to. That's something that a few people have been doing. Another option, if you want it here before move-in, is there's a storage company who has had the ability to hold some items once in a while, and it's called Squirrel Box. Which is a really fun name. And we can put that website address out onto, we can follow up with that in email, and we can put it on the Facebook group, because I don't know the website address right now, but I'll be sure to send it out to everybody. If you contact them and let them know that you have some items that you want to store, then they may have the space for you to just store it very temporarily. So if it doesn't work to send it to your hotel, then storage option is a possibility, and they have been able to deliver to the campus sometimes. You'll have to make those arrangements with them and meet them in a specific place, but those are some good options.
Okay, when do the dorms open back up after winter break?
So the dorms will open up on New Year's Day, January 1st. Starting at 10 a.m., the students can move back in.
Okay. My student is in Towers. What is in the kitchen?
So the kitchenettes that are in Towers, we don't provide any utensils or anything else. So the only thing that the university provides is a kitchen table with chairs, with 4 chairs. There's the stove, the microwave, and the refrigerator. Everything else, cleaning supplies, paper towel, utensils, cooking stuff, all of that students will have to provide for themselves.
Okay. Please explain the option to move in a day early by paying the $50 fee. Do you have any floor plans or dimensions for JMAC?
So the early arrival really are for students. A lot of our, I shouldn't say a lot, some of our students are involved in other programs on campus that are starting earlier, that are requiring them to be back a few days earlier prior to the September 4th move-in. We call those early arrivals. We also have early arrivals for our 2nd and 3rd year students, because they come in early to help you all move in to your spaces on September 4th. So that is the paid fee for that. Really, if your student isn't here for a program that they've already been contacted for, there's really no need for them to come before the September 4th move-in day. If you go to our website at housing@du.edu, you'll be able to look at the dimensions for JMAC.
No, that's email.
Oh, sorry, du.edu/housing, and there's actually a tab that says building, so you'll be able to look at floor plans and a number of pictures there. We've recently also taken a series of updated pictures and 360 pano tours of some of the rooms in all of the resident buildings and apartments, and those should be posted up here shortly in the next few days or maybe next week.
Okay. Do students have a shipping address?
They do. All of the shipping addresses are also available online as well in that same building section. So you'll just look for your student's respective residence hall, and then if you refer back to their assignment letter, it'll let you know what unit they're in, but you can go ahead and use those addresses.
Are the halls co-ed?
Yes, all of our residence halls are co-ed. There are some floors in Centennial halls that are single gender floors. And I don't have those specific floors. If you want those specific floors, you can again email us at housing@du.edu, and we can let you know what floors those are.
I paid to have my daughter move in one day early. Will she get an email telling her where to report to pick up her key and student ID?
So any student who is coming in early, either for their programs, all they need to do is go to their residence hall front desk between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. and all of their check-in packets will be ready for them to go.
Okay. If we live in Colorado, can we take a look at the student's dorm room? She would like to help her out of town roommates know what to bring.
So we don't have any available rooms at this point for it because we have conferencing services that use our residence halls prior to the students coming in, and so we're still in transition with the conferencing services. But again, as Linda shared, if you go onto our website, you'll be able to see pictures of the rooms and what you should bring.
Do the residence halls close on spring break?
Nope, the residence halls stay open over spring break.
Oh, but the dining halls?
The dining halls have lit. Gosh, no. Yeah, the dining halls are not open during spring break. That's right.
Does Towers have air conditioning? Are toasters allowed?
So in Towers, you can have a toaster because you have a kitchen. However, we really try to stay away from having toasters because you have the oven that you can do the same amount of toasting in. And then air conditioning, no.
In JMAC, are there refrigerators and microwaves in the dorm rooms?
Yes. So there will be refrigerators. They won't be full size, kind of more similar to like the smaller fridges, and then there'll be microwaves available as well.
What is the bathroom/shower use situation at JMAC?
Sure. In JMAC, those are the bathrooms. They're communal, so each floor will have gender specific or do they have a gender? On one floor, they do have a gender neutral bathroom as well. And so in that case, those communal restrooms will be cleaned by the custodial staff.
This one is what floors are co-ed in Centennial halls?
Yep. Just shoot us an email
Yeah.
and we will let you know.
So can you describe how the move-in day process works and what it's like?
Move-in day is actually remarkably smooth here at the University of Denver. It's definitely not like what you see on the TV and on movies. It's a pretty well-oiled machine. So you are welcome to come. We have set times, so if you're in even or an odd room, you'll have gotten an email with your either you come at 9 o'clock or 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock. Really, we don't stick super to those times. You're welcome to come whenever you would like after 9 o'clock. You'll come. We ask that you keep all of your belongings outside and just let your student come into the building to pick up their keys, their check-in packets. And we have a ton of volunteers working that day to help you bring all of your stuff up to your room. We also have dollies for you to check out. We have cleaning supplies for you to check out. If you would like if you'd like that, but all of the rooms are cleaned and prepared for you to be here on the 4th.
Okay, so we have a question about the modules. So your student, even if they haven't received an email about the modules, what they can do is they can go into their Pioneer Web and then click into their Canvas tab. And in Canvas, it should show a whole entire course on there, which will connect them to their modules. So they should have access to it even if they haven't gotten an email. You can also log into Canvas separately using your student ID and password. So have your student try that, and that should work for them.
Does that say that the email address was changed? Is that what I'm reading on there?
No.
Oh, that there wasn't a change in email.
No, she checked her student email.
Oh, she checked her
There was
student
nothing.
email. Oh,
So,
okay, okay.
Yeah, so have them go through their Pioneer Web and click on Canvas, and that should route them to where they need to be for their modules. Just covered that. Okay, so will you cover health insurance basics on this call? We covered that.
That was last week, or no, health insurance. No, sorry. The health and wellness section is actually going to be next week. If you have a specific question about health insurance that you need answered immediately, you can get in touch with our Health and Counseling Center at 303-871, I think it's 2205. I'm pretty sure, is that right? Yes, 2205. And if you need to know something immediately, but otherwise we're going to have next Wednesday's webinar is going to be about health and wellness.
No, there is no air conditioning towers.
I'm almost positive there's no, because there's no air conditioning in Centennial Halls. We can get back to you on that one. I know that they were just updating a bunch of the residence halls with the HVAC system, so we will double check and we'll get back to you.
Okay, so that does answer this one too. Are the rooms prepared to move in, or is cleaning required?
No, the rooms are prepared to move in. They've been absolutely cleaned by our custodial team. We just like to put out cleaning supplies at the front desk so that your students begin to understand that they have to clean their own rooms once families leave.
Okay, I'm not clear. Are microwaves and mini fridges provided in each room, or do we need to rent or buy them?
Yes, so each room will have one of each, so your students and their roommate or roommates will have to share.
On the co-ed floor of the halls, do you share the same bathroom?
Yeah, sorry. Excuse me. So there will be gender-specific bathrooms, so we do ask that students use the ones that they identify with, and then some of the floors do have gender-neutral ones available as well.
What is the latest the student can move in on Monday?
We would so at 3:30, starting at 3:30 is when their floor meetings will happen, which is we're going to get their RA. We'll be having their entire floor get together for a meeting, and it's a meet and greet. So really probably about 1 o'clock is the latest that you'll want to show up to get moved in.
We missed the answer to early move-in. Where do we go for keys and IDs?
To the whichever residence hall your student is living in, you go to that front desk.
In JMAC, are risers available to raise the beds or have them accommodate a desk underneath? So do you have risers? Can they raise the bed and can they accommodate a desk?
Yes, but they will not rise high enough to accommodate your desk under your bed.
But your dressers will fit, so.
Is JMAC without air?
Yes.
Okay, what is the showering situation like at Centennials? Are there individual showers, shower stalls, or one big open shower with many heads?
In all of the communal bathrooms, there will be individual shower stalls.
Is room cleaning on the students?
Absolutely. And we actually, if there is a concern, a health and safety concern, we will go into a student's room and have them clean it. But it's in our policies that students keep their rooms clean.
You mentioned cleaning supplies are available at the front desk of each residence hall. Does that include a vacuum and/or broom, or should we purchase one?
We provide all of that, the vacuums, the brooms, buckets if they'd like as well.
My student will be attending the JET program and will move in early. Can he start sleeping there, or will he have to stay with us at the hotel?
Nope, since he's coming with the JET program, he'll be staying, he's welcome to stay in his residence hall room.
So yes, a fan is a wonderful idea for any of the residence halls without AC. Bring them. That is going to be the best way to cool your residence hall.
Yeah, and I would recommend to order that ahead of time. You can order them from several of the local stores, and wherever you are, Bed Bath & Beyond, Target, anywhere else that you are now, you can go in and order it, but then pick it up here at the Denver store. I would recommend doing that in advance and not waiting until you get here for move-in, because the other universities have started their move-in. All of the other students have cleaned out the stores out here. You probably won't find a fan if you, go down to your local Target or Walgreens or something. So it's a good idea to order that ahead of time. Maybe a standing oscillating fan would be a good idea, and to have your student talk to their roommate and see if they already have one that they're bringing, because there's a possibility they'll say, yeah, one will work.
Okay. Do the rooms in Centennial Halls come with cable TV, or do the students need to order it?
Sure. So students will be provided with a subscription for cable TV. However, if they'd like to have it hooked up directly to the TV that they're bringing, they do need to purchase a Roku device. And we'll have more information about this here up on our website. Tomorrow there'll be a link with all of that information. Otherwise, they can also log into that subscription through their computer. So if they want to use their computer and hook it up to their TV with an HDMI cable, that's another option. As far as students needing to order it, they do have the option if they'd like to add certain premium channels onto their subscription, they can do that, and that is agreement between them and the cable company, but otherwise we do have a standard cable subscription we'll provide to them.
How many floors are there in the South Halls, and about how many students per floor?
There's 9 floors in the south towers of halls, south and north of towers and Centennial Halls, and there's about 32 students per floor.
Are room safes allowed provided the student agrees to have it inspected at random? If so, do you have any recommendations for safes that students have used in the past?
So safes students are welcome to bring their own safes, and which is fine. They cannot be bolted to the ground or anything in our rooms, and they would have. And in the event that we needed to get into the safe or ask the student to open the safe, they would have to do that since it's on the university's property. Truly, I think that most of our families and students go to the hardware store and find a safe and pick it up. I don't really have any recommendations for a specific safe to use.
Do you have a particular size of fan to suggest?
Really, anything that stands and oscillates is a great way to keep the air moving. And so it doesn't need to be a super fancy fan. They only use it for, until mid-October, until the weather starts to change. But anything that sort of stands and can oscillate around the room is perfect.
Are the bathrooms locked? Do they need to carry a key? And does the room in Centennial House open with a key or their ID card?
So students will be given their student IDs, and that allows them to swipe in and out of buildings. That also allows them to swipe up into the elevators if they live on a different floor, such as towers and halls. They will have a physical key for their actual room, and all the bathrooms, the communal bathrooms, they won't be locked. So that's because the students will have to swipe into the building, so we can keep those unlocked.
Give me one second. A few of you said you've lost the video, so you can't see us at all. Yeah? Can other people see you? Okay. Give me 1 second. Frozen video is frozen. Okay, as of right now, okay, stop video. Are you recording? I am. It should just stop our video, and they should still continue to be able to hear us. The program's frozen, or freezing.
But they're saying that they can still hear us?
Yeah.
All right, let's keep it going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Why is a safe needed?
A lot of students who do use safes, they may need to keep some prescription medicine that they would like to have locked up, or valuables such as a passport.
Do the rooms and towers lock between the bathroom and kitchen area?
Yes, the bathroom can be locked.
Do the windows open to Centennial Halls?
Yes. Not very far, but they do open.
I am not 100% sure if they actually got that, because our side is frozen.
Okay. If you can hear us, we're going to restart the webinar on our side. So just stay where you are, and we're going to leave the meeting and then come back to it. So hang in there, we'll be right back.